first read series where I just read a poem for the sheer joy of reading it the first time. Not trying to be profound, not trying to prep to teach it, just reading it and having an experience, and maybe come up with some insight, maybe not. Maybe I just go through it. I don't know if this is of interest to anybody else, but it's enjoyable for me to do. I'm going to look at a translated poem today. And that's hard, I think, poetically. You don't know if the translation is good if it's not from a language that you know, but hopefully the translator is good enough to create a good poem in the language they're translating into, whether it's like the original or not. This is from Two Lines Journal, put out by the Center for the Art of Translation. You can see the website here. I'm just going to go down and look at this poet. It is by this title is "We Carried On Laughing Like That," and the poet is, and I'm sorry, I am going to slaughter this poet's name, Su-gyeong, and it's translated from Korean by So-Jae Lee. I probably screwed up the names on all of those, and that's okay. That's what I got. The Korean is listed here, which I love when translators put it next to each other so you can get a mirrored delineation in the Korean following through in English. So it's neat to see them together. So I'm just going to read it. I know nothing about this poet. There's a little author note on the side. The poet died in 2018. South Korean writer, maybe of necessity here, born in 1964. Wrote poems, novels, essays, alright. Lived in Germany. Alright. We carried on laughing like that. Children carried bombs in their pockets for as long as the strangers flew around here on enormous green wings. What the... That's one heck of an opening. Carried on laughing like that. Carrying on laughing while the children are carrying bombs in their pockets. It's just the daily going on, I'm assuming. Maybe not, we'll see as we go along. For as long as the strangers flew around here on enormous green wings, black oil gushed wherever a donkey stepped. It's wild. People who disappeared long ago emerged sticky from the black oil and asked about the houses that had been demolished long ago. Wow, this is a pretty cool image that's going on here. Out of the oil comes these disappeared, the memory coming straight out of the earth, looking for these places that are demolished, and with people laughing in the beginning, the children carrying bombs. Not sure what to do with these strangers on enormous green wings yet, but maybe it'll come together as I read. And each time they ask, flowers bloomed by the river. Each time they ask about a house that's been long demolished, a flower blooms. Flowers are red and white. When the wind blew, the flowers fell. And from where the flowers fell, berries grew. Wow, this is a fun image. It's like we've gone into the surreal to explain the events that are happening here. Each time they ask if flower blooms and it falls and berries come up. Those berries were like the eyes of a crying woman, or the roundness of the berry, the crying woman there. Because there's a memory popping up. When we ate the berries, the feelings turning to sorrow tucked away in our hearts suddenly disappeared. It's like it almost does the opposite. It makes you forget the memory of sorrow in your heart. We went to the river because we wanted to laugh hard, and so we did. There's the laughing at the beginning, laughing in the face of these places gone, of the children with the bombs, of the flowers that fall and turn into berries that make you forget. The bombs in the children's pocket went off, and the children scattered in the air. That's a crazy rough image, thrown into this surreal poetic landscape. It doesn't seem so harsh. But the bombs exploded in the children's pocket and they scattered in the air. We carried on laughing. The tearful berries were watching us, like the berries, like the woman's eyes, are watching us. And it ends on this comma. Wow, that's really a hell of a poem. Lots of really strong imagery. The topics, intense. Curious to see how it would be in a collection of a longer collection, to see how it works. So we carried on laughing like that. Really, they need to check into this South Korean poet here. It's worthwhile. I wonder how much more of her stuff has been translated. That was fun.